Good morning. As always, welcome to Locked In on Lockdown. My name's Alex Elaine.
I'm Jack Gerards.
And as always, we're bringing you that daily motivation, inspiration, and actionable tips to get your mind right and your day started with a bang. Jack, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about taking responsibility. And I really wanted to talk about this one because slowly, I think both Alex and I, we can start seeing that some of our friends, even some of our family, are starting to fall to the wayside a little bit mentally, and people are feeling like they're losing control over their lives. And this is one of the easiest ways to regain control of your life, is to take responsibility of absolutely everything.
I want to go right for the jugular on this, Jack, because I'm seeing the same thing as you. And one of the challenges is, I think sometimes people see it as, you know, there's just different types of people. Like Jack, maybe you're cut out that way, or Alex, you're cut out that way, and I'm just not. Mm-hmm. So how do we get people to own and on board and accept responsibility and use that as fuel to go and pursue their dreams? What can we do, tell, or advise people?
I think it just comes from a stance of understanding the things that you can't control and the things that you can control. And one of the things I've been talking about so much has been the fact that right now, the only thing that you really have control of is your choices. Your choices. And, you know, with everything that's going on in the world, you have got to take every opportunity that you can to control your choices and to control your internal and your external environment. The analogy that I wanted to use for this situation is, it's very difficult to pin the blame on anyone or anything for this particular circumstance. If we were looking at it on a macro level, the government could turn around and say, well, guys, this is not my fault, so I'm not going to deal with the situation because it's not my fault. And if our governments had that viewpoint, then we would be in a far worse situation. But regardless of it being their fault or it not being their fault, they're taking responsibility, okay? So on a micro level now, on an individual basis, it doesn't matter whether this situation is your fault or not. It doesn't matter whether or not you've lost your job, it doesn't matter if you've lost your job, but it doesn't matter if it was your fault. It doesn't matter if it's your fault that someone is arguing with you, but it is your responsibility, because your happiness and your future is always your responsibility. So take ownership of absolutely everything that you can and keep your power, especially in times like this. Please keep your power.
Yeah, the word that kind of stood out to me through all of that was the word control, and also power to an extent. And the reason why is, whatever we're in control of, we have influence over. We can change, we can pivot, we can adjust. And so the reality is that when we feel enabled, that we have a level of control over something, we can do something about it.
Exactly.
And there's a really interesting book, I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's called Extreme Ownership, and it's by Jocko Willink. And he was a former US Navy SEAL. So he was someone who, you know, was very resilient and obviously went through a lot of hard times. But this concept of extreme ownership is all about taking complete and utter responsibility and ownership for absolutely everything that is within your span of control. Whether you actually believe it's your fault or it's not, you take ownership for it. And the reason behind that is because it empowers you to know that you have control, influence, and decision-making capability to do something about it. So you might think that this is something that, you know, I really didn't do this, or it really wasn't my fault. Don't worry about it. Take responsibility for it, because what it means is that you feel empowered that if something like that happened again, or if you found yourself in a similar situation, there is something you can do about it. And I think with everything happening right now, we could all learn a little bit from this concept to say, hey, I'm going to own this, right? Yeah. And I'm going to own it, because then I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to use it as fuel. I'm going to take it as momentum, and I'm going to make a change for myself. And we need to try and all do our bit to recondition the mind ultimately to get comfortable in that place, because it's the only way that you're going to come out of what's going on at the moment and have moved the needle and made a difference, versus come out of it and think, I had all that 6 or 12 months, what I could have done, and actually you didn't take advantage, and now's the time. Jack, give me something more on this.
I think for anybody who is feeling hopeless right now, for anybody who is feeling like they are out of control and their life is just unrecognizable from what it was before, take some time to sit back and relax and realize the aspects and the areas where you do have a level of influence. What Alex is saying, to me, this is the most important episode that we've done so far, because it lays the foundation. Your mindset is going to dictate everything about your life. So you need to have complete and utter control of the way that you're looking at things. And it's weird. It's really, really weird for me, because I have two camps of people right now. I have people like Alex and other friends who I talk to, and we're discussing this situation. We're like, okay, it's not ideal, but have you seen this? Have you seen that? Like, there's so much opportunity here, there, and there. There's so much opportunity to have social impact, to be able to grow a business, to make money, the implications are limitless. There's so much potential right now. And then there's the other camp of people who are like, I've lost this. I can no longer do this. I'm not able to make this happen anymore. And I'm like, guys, I get you. I'm with you. I understand the struggle. We're all in this together. But exactly as Alex was saying just now, there's going to be two versions of you, right? There's going to be the version of you who comes out of this situation and they triumph. There really is a version of you that will come out of this situation and triumph. And there's going to be a version of you that comes out of this situation and it's just been tragic. Make sure that you're constantly taking steps towards being that very best version of yourself. And one of the key elements of that is going to be having extreme ownership, or taking responsibility for absolutely everything that you can, because you are in control.
That's really powerful, Jack. You know, I felt that as you were saying it. And again, the point I took from all of that is that this is about perspective.
Yeah.
And when we use the word perspective, that's also a choice. And it's always a choice. The situation is always what it is. How you receive it, how you act upon it is all within your control. And everything that we're seeing right now, you have a choice now. What lens are you going to put on it? Are you coming from here or are you coming from here? And today is the day that you need to choose to see the opportunity through this, see the silver lining through this, be the person that takes it and sees opportunity and enrichment and a chance where you can use this extra time and this extra momentum to go ahead and make a difference and be the person that leads the pack, be someone who's able to influence others and curate that kind of community and that ecosystem where you're all driven to do something that's visionary during this time.
Yes, I like that.
It's today, it's about making that choice when it comes to perspective. And as we've kind of touched on, you know, take responsibility, don't look for the way out. You know, one other thing I'll say on this is that I was speaking to someone recently and they were talking to me about a business idea they had and they were really passionate about, and another one that they saw was much quicker and much easier to be able to do. They weren't as passionate about it. I said to them, you know, why is it that you feel so much more inclined to go for the quick, easy win? Sometimes it's about actually looking at what is the path of a little bit more resistance that you can take, that you're going to learn much more for, that you're going to grow. So the point I'm making through all of this is set a plan. Don't be the person that's looking for any kind of quick and easy route out. Pursue your passion, set a plan, take responsibility and march ahead. Go for it. Jack, any final points before we sign out?
2 very quick points. If you have to struggle with purpose. And 2, you're not defined by your circumstances, you're defined by your choices. That's all from me.
Love it. Well, on that note, stay locked in.
See you next time. Take care.